Good morning. Good morning. I'm just getting up, about to have my juice and workout. And I was just thinking my thoughts this morning. Um, I was noticing, in a capitalistic world, society, where everything is about money. And let's just say you've been poor all of your life. Your mother's been poor, your father's been poor, your grandparents have been poor. You start looking at what way can I make it out, you know. And you can't blame people. Some people try to make it out by going pro. It's a dream. I've seen it in a village where the entire neighborhood, the community, is counting on this one child to make it pro, because by this child making it pro and making enough money to take care of their family and maybe even their community and friends, if they can make it, anybody in the community can make it. And a lot of times, I believe that's why you see a lot of individuals, um, a lot of communities putting everything on a small child, like 8 years old, 10 years old, and they support him all the way through, or her all the way through, but mostly him when it comes to pro sports. And in a poor neighborhood, you're right. All the hopes and dreams on that child. That child may have, all of a sudden, their hopes and dreams becomes his hopes and his dreams. Maybe those weren't his hopes and dreams. Maybe he wanted to do something else. Maybe he wanted to be a dancer or an artist, or maybe he wanted to be a scientist or a mathematician. But there's a lot of responsibility, and I think to myself sometimes, how many young people who make it think about college and education. And then I get it, and when I'm around them and I listen to them and I understand that if you had a choice between bouncing a ball and making this amount of money, where your mother or your grandmother that was raising you, or grandfather, needed money for medication, needed money for food, needed money so they could stay in a place and not be kicked out, maybe you'd bounce a ball too. A lot of people don't have time for 4 years to go to college. They can go later, but right now, they have to make the best decision for themselves and their lives. The other thing I noticed was looking at young people trying to make it today in today's world. How they do what they feel they have to do to make the money, because in a capitalistic society that's really not built and structured for your spiritual well-being, your emotional well-being, all right? It's about money, right? Even online, right? All of a sudden online, I thought there was the one place you wouldn't find advertising so much. It's everywhere, and now it's forced upon us, right? Where I want to read something or watch something. Okay, I can watch the first 15, 30 seconds of it, and then it goes into an advertisement. And the first one you cannot skip. And then it goes to a second one where you can skip after 5 seconds or something like that. You're playing a game. You could play a game, but eventually, unless you pay for a subscription, it's going to go to a commercial. So it's really all about money. It's about making money. That's why we don't take care of each other the way that we should. In this country, we don't love each other. We're not compassionate and empathetic and nurturing to each other to just be good people. It's about power. It's about money. And sometimes you have to be careful not to sell your soul to the devil when you're trying to make that money. Let me tell you. And people don't mean to. It's not like they have it in mind. They think they can get in and get out, and sometimes you can. A lot of times I hope that you can. But it really is about, I call them angels in hell. Because they're angels, but they're in hell. They're surrounded by just negative things. And this could be anybody, anywhere. You could be surrounded by negative things in your family. You could be surrounded by negative things in your community, at your school, at your job. But when you live in a community or you work in a community where it's just negative, you will find yourself in one of two places. You're going to have to either decide to be different and fight against not being like them. You can get out, right? A lot of people, when they make enough money to get out of hell, they go right back into the same hell and they try to help out, but they don't change the structure, right? But that's another whole thing. So, and, or you can stay there, right? You can stay there in hell and try to make the most of it because you're really angels and you're really helping a lot of people, right? And that's what happens, right? You want to help a lot of people. But we have to change the structure, the infrastructure of hell. Remake it, redesign it, remove it. And then you can start, it's just like if you want to do better in your life, if you want positive things in your life, you have to restructure, revise, and remove the negative attitude that you have. You have to do that. I know it's hard, but you have to think positive. Like right now, I'm thinking positive right now. I know I expect something great to happen every single day. And when I do that, a lot of times it's really great, and a lot of times I get challenged. I get challenged. But with that pressure, just like Dr. Maya Angelou told me, one time I was sitting at her feet, actually, on a stool having tea with her when I was at Wake Forest University. I used to go over to her house every other weekend, and she used to just espouse to me lessons of life, right? And she's like, don't forget with those challenges and that pressure, what happens to that coal that provides fuel for some turns into a beautiful diamond for others, right? And what it does for me, when I'm challenged and backed into a corner, I'm coming. I may cry a little bit. I may be a little sensitive. I may be even a little angry at times. But eventually, when I bow my head in prayer and I raise up, I'm coming. I'm coming, honey. I'm coming. That means I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my happiness. I'm fighting for my good health. I'm fighting for love. I'm fighting for compassion. That's why no matter what, I will continue to try to make the world a better place. That's just my purpose and my mission. And it doesn't mean that you don't have a mission and a purpose. Everybody plays a role. Everybody plays a role. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. I am not perfect. But I really try to give perfect effort as much as I can. Anyways, lastly, I just want to say that I was just thinking that, all these young people are making it that you see in media. I wonder where their parents are. Not just any parent. You could have extended family. It doesn't have to be blood. But where are their mentors? Where are their parents that are telling them, don't do that? Don't do that. I think of all the women who should be treated like queens. And if they knew who they were, if they knew how to step into their queendom, things would be different. I really truly feel that. For my kings, how many of my men know that they're kings or feel that they are? Even people I don't know. I'll be at the train station and I'll see a young man with his pants down. I don't know this person. I just pray about it. And I go up to them and I whisper in their ear. I said, "Hi, can I tell you something real quickly? Because I don't want to embarrass them in front of anyone." They're very polite, no matter who they are. I've been doing this for years. I whispered into their ear. I said, "You are a king. You are born to be a king. Therefore, you must dress like a king and get the respect of a king. You are my king. You are my king. Do you feel that how you're dressed is a king that demands respect?" I tell them I love them and I move. And I can just see the change right on their face, just like that. Just like that. I don't know. They could be 16. It doesn't really matter. It's giving respect to who they can be. You speak up to people, no matter who they are. If you want change, positive change. And I do that with everything. I do that with everything as much as I can. But sometimes you got to call people out for what they are. But that's another one. Anyways, good morning to you. God bless you. I love you. I just had some thoughts. Maybe you listen to it, maybe you don't. But I'm about to edit the second episode of Season with Love. It's really amazing. And I love you. Have a great day. Think positive. Know that you can overcome and come through in all that you do. All right? You take great care now. All right. Bye. Have a good day. Bye.